guys, it's Shaded by Millie here, and I'm here today to give you hair tips on how to take care of your braids, how to use the hair products, how to use your drops, and how to sleek your edges, okay? I specialize in braids, crochets, and sew-ins, and other hairstyles as well. If you're ready, let's hop into it.
So what are the top 3 protective styles that you recommend?
The top 3 protective styles I recommend is a twist out. I recommend a twist out any day. I recommend knotless braids. That's my favorite. And I also recommend crochets.
Okay. And what's the best way to protect your edges?
The best ways to protect your edges is to start from the braider, like myself. Me personally, when I'm braiding hair, when I get around the edges, I kind of take my hand and move some of them out. We don't want it to be all perfect, you know. So I kind of take some out and then I braid, you know, what's left right beside the edges.
How often should I use the drops?
Okay, using my hair drops, I have men and I have women. Okay, we're going to start with the women first. So when you're using the drops, first we're going to start with how often. You usually use them Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, or you pick 3 days out of, you know, what days you would like to use. And I will use them 3 days out the week. I will apply them first around the edges, drop them all through your braids or whatever style. Even if you have a sew-in, you lift up the hair. Do not apply it to the hair itself. Drop them on your scalp. Make sure it's hitting the scalp. So if you have knotless or box braids, I recommend you to take the dropper and stick it between the braid itself so it can drop. You kind of get what I'm saying? So it can kind of drop in between the hairs of the braid. You get what I'm saying? So basically you're going to take the dropper and you're going to pull your braid and then you're going to stick it through where they have this section portion off is, and then you're going to drop a drop there. So that way you protecting your excuse me guys, that way you're protecting your scalp all throughout, not just your edges. But your edges should be the most important part because this is where our hair get weakened at first. So protect those edges, guys.
And what are some do's and don'ts for after you leave the chair, after getting your hair done?
That's a good question. So my don'ts, I'm gonna start with don'ts first. Do not lift your hair. Do not lift your hair. Whether you have knotless, crochet, or box braids, do not lift your hair. Your hair already stressing. Your hair stressed, they have a stress window from 7 to 14 days. So that's why you should not lift your hair into a ponytail, because if you just sat there and got braids, your hair already has tension, it's stressing. So do not lift them because you're stressing it more and then the hair start relaxing to pop.
What is a good daily hair routine that you recommend following?
A good daily hair routine, meaning like after you got braids or a style?
Yeah.
A good daily hair routine after you got braids, crochets, or sewing. Okay. Waking up. After you finish doing your normal daily routine, you need to apply the drops. The same way I just showed you, you should apply your drops. You need to make this as a daily routine. Because we think that if we use the product once or twice, it works. It won't work like that. So you need to make this as your daily routine. Not daily, and if you want to use it daily, that's fine. So I would say getting up, once you get up, apply this to your hair. I wouldn't do it at night, right before I'm going to bed, because you want it to marinate on the scalp, you know, inside the hairs. You want it to straighten the hair follicles, because around the braid, sometimes when you see the white residue around the braid, it doesn't be the product buildup, it be more of the hair follicles. And if you don't know too much about hair, you'll think it's a product buildup or edge control or whatever product you use on your edges, and it's not that. It's really your hair follicle and it's weakened. So that way you need to start using your drops or whatever oil you use. So make sure you keep those edges all. Make sure you tie your edges down. You should not be going to bed like this with nothing on your head. You need something on your head. And if it's something too tight around the head, you need to snip it or pull it back. Nothing should be too tight around the edges when you're going to bed. Okay. Guys, so that answered all the do's and don'ts, and I answered all the questions. And like I said, I'm Shaded by Millie. My business page is at Shaded, SHADED BY_MILLI. And if you have more questions for me, just flood the DM. Feel free to ask me any questions and I'll put them in the next video for next week. Thank you. Bye.